Warmer in the Winter is a new tabletop RPG on Kickstarter by Game Nomicon, created for games of holiday, heartwarming romance in the vein of Hallmark, Lifetime, and Netflix Christmas movies. Also works well for games in the vein of TV shows like Good Witch and Gilmore Girls. Built on the award-winning Powered by the Apocalypse engine that powers games like Monster Hearts, Girl Underground, and Mask. This engine puts an emphasis on storytelling and character moves that evoke specific genres. The free beta copy went out in 2019, but this updated edition will clean up some phrasing, expand on the group-controlled spirit of the season character, and provide locations as a sample setting to amp up the cozy drama. Play as the perky beloved, the quirky screwball, the reliable bestie, or any of the other 7 roles. Find out more and follow the campaign at bit.ly/warmerrpg. That is bit.ly/warmerrpg. What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,600 episodes. Wow. And 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we're still dealing with pandemic living. But while we're dealing with the pandemic life, we got to make sure that we're taking care of our own personal lives. You got to take care of yourself. So I've got founder and CEO of Buff Experts with me today, the wonderful Sina. Hey, Sina.
Thanks for having me.
Aw, thanks so much for joining us. So, Sina, what part of the world are you at today?
I'm in the country of Canada, specifically the province of Alberta, the city of Edmonton. It is freezing today. I don't know the exact calculation off the top of my head from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but I want to say it's probably about -7 to -10 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, Sina, I can't say that I envy you at all. Not sure how you staying warm up there. We're gonna send some good vibrations and prayers to you and the fam, because that's cold, girl.
Please do. Yes, please send a warm front our way.
Certainly. All right, Sina. So let's just jump off to it. What was the motivation behind Buff Experts?
So the motivation behind Buff Experts was I felt that body care was such a neglected space in skincare. There's tons and tons of products for face, but not so much for the body. It felt sort of like, well, I can go to the drugstore and get the same old body lotions and stuff that have been kicking around since I was a kid and haven't changed much in formulation and frankly aren't really great. They're not high quality. Or I could go to, let's say, a natural beauty store and pay a lot of money for something that's really good, but it's expensive, and our bodies, of course, are large relative to our face, and so you're cranking through a ton of product. And it didn't seem like there was anything in the middle.
Gotcha. So, what was the first big hurdle that you faced as a business owner that really kind of took you by surprise?
How difficult it was to find manufacturers. The beauty world is very secretive about their suppliers, so nobody wants to talk about who they use for manufacturing, who they use for supplies, for components, for labels, for filling, who they use for fulfillment. So it was really difficult to find that information. And of course you go online, but a lot of these manufacturers and stuff also aren't great about advertising online. So it's a ton of digging, a ton of cold calling, a ton of asking questions about, what do you guys do? What are your minimums? And a lot of these manufacturers, they also don't really want to waste their time with brands that are small potatoes. That was the sense I got. So it was difficult to have a serious conversation with an account manager, even though you're just interviewing them at that stage to get a sense of, well, how much is this really going to cost me? So that was really surprising how difficult it was to get information.
Oh, wow. So if you had to guesstimate, how long did it take you to find a manufacturer and, a team to help you with the vision?
At least 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
Gotcha. Wow. So after that point and you figure things out and you get to work it hard on that first big product, the product launch and all that great stuff, what would you say was your proudest moment?
Our first sale.
That's awesome.
You go through all this work to find a manufacturer, to create the product, to package, label it, ship it to you, and you have the product, and then you're like, oh my God, have I done enough marketing? Does anybody even know that this product exists? You get so wrapped up in making this thing that you forget that, have you even talked about it to anybody? Have you promoted this? Have you generated any excitement?
Yeah.
So our first sale was just so affirming in a way. It was really exciting. Yeah. And putting together that order and, okay, how do we want to box this up? And what do we want the unboxing experience to look like? How are we going to fold the tissue paper? It was very exciting.
That is so sweet. All right, so let's talk about some of the offerings on the website. So some of the products and things that people can find when they go on to buffexperts.com.
Absolutely. So we focus exclusively on body care. That means that we are only interested in skin from the neck down, and our products are designed for that. So our products are segmented into two sections. We have body care and we have intimate care. Intimate care is really important for me, and I share this story on our website, but in my very early 20s, I suffered severely from chronic yeast infections for about 2 years. And when I say chronic, I mean every day, basically. And it was really, really bad. I was on a ton of medication. I was seeing specialists all the time. It was bizarre and inexplicable, and I was very young. So it was a little bit traumatizing to start your 20s with a lot of attention on your down there. So my journey to healing at some point included realizing that ordinary soaps and body washes that we purchase from the drugstore and that we use down there are so incompatible with what we need down there. And so over the years, I have had a personal quest to find natural intimate care products, found a brand I loved, was amazing, and then they discontinued the product. And something in me just sort of like snapped. Like, I'm tired of it. And I thought I'm just going to make my own. And literally, that's how our intimate care line was born. So we have a intimate cleanser and an intimate salve. And I like to think of this as your cleansing and moisturizing duo. So we don't shampoo our hair without conditioning. We don't wash our face without moisturizing. And it's sort of the same idea for down there. So you cleanse and then you moisturize. Our cleanser is, for me, like probably my proudest sense of accomplishment because it was something really personal for me, and I know lots of women go through this, and it just feels really good to offer something into the marketplace that is really efficacious. So we have our intimate care, and then we have our body care, and our body care is all about cleansing, exfoliating, and moisturizing. So if you do those three things daily, you will totally see a difference in your skin. It's really transformational.
Awesome.
So we have,
go ahead.
I touch on those things.
Yeah, no, I saw the intimate salve. I had not seen one of those before, so I saw your YouTube video on it, and I was like, who would have thought? Who would have really thunk it? But no, kudos to you and kudos to your team for compiling just really awesome, amazing products that, women everywhere can use and can definitely, just enhance our whole well-being. So I love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Last but certainly not least, what advice could you offer to any female entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs?
So I would say to really do your research. There's a difference between a hobby and what could be genuinely a viable revenue-generating, profitable business.
Mm.
And the onus is on you to do the work to make sure that you can differentiate which of it is. And the reason I say that is because starting a new venture takes a lot of money. You certainly will bootstrap it at the beginning, meaning, you're going to self-fund it. You'll dump portions of your paycheck. You'll take a second job to pay for bills. You'll do all that as an entrepreneur. But at some point, as the business really starts to take off, or your idea really starts to take off, it's going to start needing a lot of cash. And so you don't want to get to a point where you dump a ton of money into your idea, only to realize that this isn't really viable, and maybe this would have been better off as a hobby. So do your research first to make sure that there's a genuine need in the marketplace for this, that you have access to cash or credit or loans or grants, because a business is a needy thing, and it needs cash primarily.
Yeah.
And sort of along that same vein, I would recommend don't quit your day job until you can pay yourself. So it's important. Personally, I don't think you have a business until you are paying yourself.
Right.
You can be free labor up to a certain point, whether that's a year or two.
Right.
But at some point, you must start drawing a salary, no matter the amount, from your company.
Right.
Otherwise, for me, it's just not really a company. So until you can do that, keep your day job.
I love it. Sina, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yes, this was great. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And let everyone know, of course, where they can go to check out the products and to follow you across social media.
Absolutely. So our Instagram is at Buff Experts, so that's experts with an S. And then our website is buffexperts.com.
All right, I love it. And yes, before I forget here, Sina, a little birdie told me that you got a little something for our listeners today.
Yes, we do. We are so happy to be on this show that we wanted to give a little thank you to you and your listeners. So we are offering 10% off our entire website until the end of Valentine's Day, so the end of February 14th. You can use the code ASH10, and that will get you 10% off.
I love it. Thank you so very much, Sina. Much more success to you, the team, everybody involved. Definitely appreciate that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And likewise, we're hopefully nearing the end of quarantine. I know you're feeling the burnout. I'm feeling the burnout. And
everyone is feeling it. That is a child. We can't even go through that story today.
That's so true.
We can't even go down that street. Ooh. We are looking forward to the end of quarantine days. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for the love and the cares, the shares. It makes a huge difference. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.